Today we're going to take notes on graphing inequalities on a number line. So what is an inequality? If you look at this word, you'll see that inside this word is the word equal. So an inequality is something that does not equal something else. Our first inequality sign that we're going to look at here is less than. The less than sign looks like it's a V on its side. So it starts out smaller and then it opens to the right in something larger. So for example, if we say that some variable n is less than 3, on a number line we would graph that by first identifying or marking where we want 3 on the number line. So n, the variable, can stand for any number that is less than 3. So it can't be equal to 3, so we have to use an open circle right at 3, which tells us that it is not equal to 3, but anything less than 3. So we would shade in to the left of the number line here to represent all numbers that are less than 3. So how is that different from the next inequality symbol? That means less than or equal to. You'll notice here that we have a line underneath the less than sign. That's what tells us that it means less than or equal to. So in this case, if I wanted to choose a variable x, and I said x is less than or equal to, say I said -5 here, we would want to show -5 on the number line, so maybe I would put a 0 here. And when we move to the left of the number line, we are going in the negative direction here, or the opposite direction of 5. So moving 5 would be to the right, but the opposite of 5, or -5, would mean that I would move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the left. This would be -5. So again, any number that is less than or equal to. So because we have the words equal to, we are going to put a dot at -5, but we are going to shade it in. It's a closed dot. That means that we can also have the value of -5 included in our answer. And then anything less than that, again, gets shaded to the left of the number line. So if you look at our first two examples, the first one has an open dot because we are not including the value of 3. And the second example has a closed dot where we are including the value of -5. They both show less than. So we shade to the left of each of those numbers. Now let's look at the inequality greater than. This one starts where it opens up large and then it goes smaller. So in this case, if we pick some variable d, if d is greater than 3, again, I want to show 3 on my number line, so maybe I'll start with 0, 1, 2, 3. I move 3 units to the right. My answer does not include 3, so it's an open dot. And any number greater than 3, I would shade in to the right of my open dot on the number line here. So this represents all answers here that are greater than 3. And then finally our last example here, greater than or equal to. So there's that word equal to. Again, we have the line underneath the greater than sign. So let's say we pick a variable s, and we say s is greater than or equal to -2. The first thing we need to do on our number line is identify where -2 is. So if I pick a point for 0, -2 is just the opposite of +2. So I'll be moving 1, 2 in the other direction, opposite direction. So 2 to the left would be -2. And this time, my answer includes -2 as a value. So when I put that dot on the number line at -2, I'm going to shade that in to include the value of -2. And I want to include all the values that are greater than -2. So I also shade in all of the number line here to the right of -2. And that's all there is to graphing inequalities on a number line.